It would be one of the biggest investment projects in British history, but High Speed 2 faces trouble on the line.
HS2 is starting to come off the rails.
We have now become very sceptical.
You will not have the money that we need to spend on maintaining and upgrading existing lines.
So perhaps it's not surprising that this morning on Twitter, David Cameron was saying it was time for a fight back. This morning, the Transport Secretary was presenting new figures to justify the project. So I asked him, is he now fighting to keep it alive?
If we don't do something, our railways will be overwhelmed and people will be saying, why wasn't decisions taken some time ago? Quite often, governments are criticised for not taking on these big projects. They are expensive, but they're very necessary.
When it's completed in 20 years, HS2 should cut travel times and increase capacity on the railway. The total budget set aside for the high-speed line is £42.6 billion. But a report out today claims HS2 would generate an extra £15 billion a year in economic growth. But this Staffordshire businessman doesn't see it that way. Trevor Forrester owns a company that installs air conditioning, and he sees no need to be better connected to London.
I used to travel probably every 2 days down to London, but now, of course, with video conferencing, we don't need to travel as much. And what that will do by 2036, it's obvious. People will not use it.
And many in business say instead of high-tech HS2, the money could be better spent on smaller road and rail projects.
Our members said, about 2/3 said that they would prefer to see the 50 billion that's going to be spent on HS2 spent on these other sorts of schemes instead.
The government, though, seems committed.
Not just the railway lines, but building new structures, building new stations, building a better future for the United Kingdom.
Can you put your hand on your heart and say, this is going to happen?
Definitely, yes.
There's opposition in Parliament, in the courts and on the route itself. The government will have to work hard to ensure this project is not brought to a halt.